What the story, lads? This is Heritage. Jesus, I know I said I was a bit worried about what I was going to do with the future of the channel, but an absolute bombshell has just fallen on the comic book front and things. It went up on comicbook.com about 2 hours ago to say that Diamond Comic Distributors is not going to take any more new stock into its warehouses. What this basically means is once the warehouses run out of stock, there's going to be no more comic books delivered to any stores anywhere in the world, which to me would seem to be an extinction level event for the entire comic book industry in relation to the remaining stores that are still out there trying to do business. Now, the way things have been going here at the moment is I was under the impression that this Thursday, like I said, I'm in Ireland, so this Thursday I think was going to be the last delivery we were going to get here in Europe, because Diamond was going to stop delivering outside of the States. But I thought they were going to keep delivering stock to the Americans as they were going. But according to this article, they'll stop taking new product into their own warehouses, like I said. So it seems to me they're not going to be delivering to America within, I'd say, the next 3 months. Diamond usually works 3 months in advance. At least ways, that's what Diamond previews always seem to have if you ever flick through to see what's due to come out. So this to me would seem to be a catastrophic turn of events for the comic book industry, because what it basically means is if you're going to buy issue 1 of a 5-issue miniseries that's coming out this week, you're not going to get the last 2 issues because Diamond ain't going to be shipping it. And in fact, from what I've seen on one of the other websites, there's word coming down that in Canada, the printing facilities that usually print comics have actually closed up shop for the next 3 weeks too. So even if they could actually get these things distributed, they mightn't even be able to get the comic books printed, period. I can't emphasize how much of a major event this is, because despite the fact you'll see a lot of people say, oh, well, go digital, people don't seem to understand when they say that the physical product pays for digital. Digital was never actually a sustainable way of selling comics. In fact, it took me a long time to figure this stuff out, because I remember way back in the day getting in flame wars with guys about sales figures and what it meant for the future of a comic book, about whether it was going to get cancelled or not. You know, like, it took me a long time to figure out that the actual result is only 10%. Only 10% of comic books are read digitally. 90% are physical. If you lose the physical, there goes the entire industry. Like I said, this only broke 2 hours ago from what I can see on comicbook.com. I've took a couple of screenshots that I'm going to put up so you can have a read through some of the stuff on it to become au fait with the whole thing. But this is a major event. It's basically all down to the C virus, you know, the condition we cannot mention because YouTube algorithm will just absolutely throttle the video if I say it. But with basically social distancing and self-isolation and the like, so many businesses have gone down so much now that it just seems to be that it's not worth their while actually producing these books. Or maybe they're just physically not capable of in terms of the working environment which Diamond operates in. But either way, this is terrible news for the industry. I mean, in my own country, the major comic book store that I would go to on the Thursday, it's gone cashless. It's not taking cash anymore because of fears of contamination from the virus. And like I said, from what I've been seeing in reports and sites like Bleeding Cool, it looked like they're not going to get their comics from next week on. Anyway, so I mean, they're facing a really tough decision about how they're even going to stay open. And we know from other stores that the industry has been having a hard enough time with it is, with an awful lot of them. I think something like 50% only able to actually keep going from month to month. They're really dependent on these sales from the first 2 or 3 days once a sale comes in, the delivery comes in order to keep business going. They don't have the cash reserves to shut down for a month to ride this out. And I don't think this is going to last a month. Like I said in my previous video about the direction of my channel, I think this thing's going to go to June at least. So this is going to be a much more protected situation than people had given it credit for. So we could be looking at a situation where half of comic shops that are still left in the United States, and that's the main bulk of the industry, are probably going to go bust within the next month. I have to admit, I'm actually poleaxed by this. I can't believe that. You know, I mean, this is what happens when the sole distributor is one company. Unfortunately, I mean, it's a blinding example of what you shouldn't have monopolies. You know, I don't see digital saving the industry. They're not going to be able to do that. Maybe somebody will set up some sort of mail order thing, but that's not going to be up and running within a month. So this just looks like another disaster to me. I don't know what they're going to do. So either way, like I said, I've got those screenshots up there. You should have been able to see it over the the length of this video. You can have a read of the article itself. It's Comic Book Zone. Go to their site, give them the traffic, they're the guys that broke the news. But yeah, I mean, it's a major event, and I really don't think the industry can survive this. If it does, it's going to be in a very much transformed state. You're going to see an awful lot of the smaller studios just go. Even DC might have a hard time actually weathering this storm. I guess the only way we're going to find out will be in the next couple of months. So there you go, guys. Take care of yourselves. Just wanted to get this shop video out to cover, like I said, what I think is going to be a major upheaval in the comic book industry. Take care.